Doctors in California tonight say tiny baby Faye is progressing and is eating and breathing on her own. Baby Faye was taken off all respirator systems today and took her first drink from a bottle last night. Since her transplant operation 5 days ago, she's become the longest living human to receive an animal heart. Baby Faye's transplant surgery has been making big headlines, of course, across the country, but animal transplant operations have been going on for nearly 20 years now. News 4's medical reporter Tom Marshall found out that one such operation took place right here in Detroit. Tom joins us now with an exclusive report on that. Tom?
Well, Rich, it is true that animal organ transplants into humans have been going on for quite a while. In 1964, University of Mississippi surgeon did the world's first heart transplant. Now, the recipient was a critically ill 68-year-old man, the donor a chimpanzee. Now, the heart did work, but only for 2 hours because it was too small. But surgical teams across the country and here in Detroit continued their research into animal-to-human organ transplants. It was a decade later when another daring attempt was made, this one at the old Detroit Receiving Hospital. In 1974, surgeon Yvan Silva was trying to save a 44-year-old man dying from liver failure. Conventional therapies had not worked.
He was going downhill, and we then did an experiment. We took a baboon liver and transplanted it in him temporarily.
The goal was to give the man's damaged liver time to heal, and 5 years of animal experiments led Silva and others to believe this might work. The baboon liver was removed and brought to the operating room where it was transplanted into the dying man.
It worked for about 2.5 hours.
You saw evidence of that?
Sure, because we would draw blood. The liver actually made bile. It was very exciting.
But the success of the operation was short-lived. Immediate and overwhelming rejection of the new liver forced the surgical team to remove the organ. But miraculously, 12 hours after the surgery, the man awakened from a coma which had lasted 8 days.
It was exciting to speak to him and have him understand what we were saying to him, because a coma means no response at all of any kind.
The man survived a total of 7 days, eventually succumbing to severe infection and pneumonia. It was impossible to tell what part the liver transplant played in his brief recovery. For Dr. Silva, it would be his first and last experiment with animal-to-human transplants.
Was it a waste? Did you get something out of it?
No, it was one of the better things I've done in my life as a surgeon, as somebody who's done experimental work.
Listen, got something out of it too?
Of course, we published it. It's in the body of literature. It's something that we learned.
We bring to you our very special guest, Mr. Yvan Silva.
Gently through her hair blows.
Performing on stage in Detroit, Yvan Silva may still be a long way from being booked in a Las Vegas nightclub. But the crooning baritone has in only a few years captured the hearts of thousands with his music and gentle style.
And the wind, it blows in my window and I look out on the road of life. I see all the people going by.
In a sense, Silva has been in the spotlight for years. Long before he appeared on a glittering stage, he began performing in a theater of a different sort. There were fewer people, no music, and in Silva's hands rested not a microphone, but at times the difference between life and death.
And if it leaks, we'll put a regular pump on it.
Yvan Silva is a surgeon who at times performs crucial kidney transplants. And he's a professor of surgery at Wayne State University Medical School in Detroit. On this particular day, Dr. Silva performs critical abdominal surgery on a 7-year-old child.
His incision is clean and dry.
A few hours later, he takes medical students on rounds at the hospital. Not his students, not hospital administrators, not colleagues, not his patients complain about his double life.
He's a dedicated actor.
Later that night, the 47-year-old singing surgeon put the finishing touches on his 4th album. He began singing as a boy and has been ever since because...
It feels great. Feels fabulous.
Of course, you know, some people would say a surgeon going into the entertainment world to sing, why bother?
Well, surgeons have been poets, they've been writers. I don't think there's any distinction to a surgeon that excludes him or her from being something else. I think it's only in the mind of people who think, well, you must be only one thing. Well, you can be, I think, many things.
His friends say Silva would give up everything for 2 weeks as a headliner at the Sands Hotel in Las Vegas. But Silva would disagree.
I've spent all my life trying to be a doctor. I hope to be a better doctor every day. That one doesn't compete with the other. One really helps each other through.
Dr. Silva admits that his double life may be in reality his own search for a piece of immortality. That, he says, might come easier with a hit song.
Everybody wants to go to heaven. Nobody wants to die.
Robert Vito, CNN, Detroit.
Our first guest, Yvan Silva, is a singer from the Detroit area. Here he is performing Acapulco Sun.
Acapulco sun turned us into lovers, brightened up our hearts, made us feel so fine. On Acapulco Bay, on the beach together, counting out the stars, made us feel so fine. We dreamed and danced, we touched each other, we were two lovers, lost together in the night. Acapulco gold, moonlight on the water, cliff-top divers flying, made us feel so high. Now Acapulco sun shines on other lovers. We had to say goodbye to our Acapulco love. Nos adoramos, nos acariciamos, fuimos dos amantes, perdidos en amor. Acapulco sol, paseando por la playa, sintiéndonos contentos, sin pensar en nuestro fin. Now Acapulco sun shines on other lovers. We had to say goodbye to our Acapulco love. Our Acapulco sun, our Acapulco sun.
From time to time in the 6 seasons that Para Mi Pueblo has been on the air, we featured a number of musicians, jazz groups, and tonight we have Yvan Silva, who you just met through his original composition, Acapulco Sun. Welcome. One of the things that we found out in talking with musicians and talking with artists is that they have to often support themselves with another job. What do you do for a living?
It's called a day job.
A day job.
You gotta have a day job. I'm a surgeon.
Most of the people we've met haven't been surgeons. Which began first, your interest in music or your interest in medicine?
I think music first, because I did that when I was in school, when I was...
By Milton Nascimento. Would you do that for us?
Yes, sure.
Great.
I have crossed 1,000 bridges in my search for something real. There were great suspension bridges made like spider webs of steel. There were tiny wooden trestles and there were bridges made of stone. I have always been a stranger and I've always been alone. There's a bridge made of colors in the sky above, and I think that there must be bridges made out of love. I can see her in the distance on the river's other shore, and her hands reach out in longing as my own have done before. And I call across to tell her where I believe the bridge must lie. And I'll find it, yes, I'll find it, if I search until I die. When the bridge is between us, we'll have nothing to say. We will run through the sunlight and I'll meet her halfway. There's a bridge made of colors in the sky high above, and I'm certain that somewhere there's a bridge made of love. Vou seguindo pela vida, esquecendo de você. Eu não quero mais a morte, tenho muito que viver. Vou querer amar de novo e se não der, não vou sofrer. Já não sonho, hoje faço com meu braço meu viver.